You need it now?
Are you ready?
Wow, now I'm paying to do the interviews?
Yeah. Do you like that?
Okay.
Okay, I'll sit and do this.
Okay.
Because I'll never find my phone and all that right now.
Would you like to choose one?
It's okay, the number's there.
Okay.
I go from the rehearsal studio to the train station, to the hotel, to one of the state buildings, to the train station, to back here. That's it.
Okay. Just a few more questions I want to sum up with what we've talked about. How would you describe your acting style, and how has it changed through your career?
It's very interesting. I like to work from inside out. I like to find the core of the human being. That's what I like to do.
Has that always been the case? Have you always... Yeah, I mean, I remember we talked earlier about how you kind of discovered that, you said, after college.
I think that was always what I was looking for. I think that there was a time, let's say when I was understudying on Broadway in Ain't Supposed to Die a Natural Death, there was a time when there would be a moment of pure inspiration. And I'd wonder, how do I get back to that? How do I find that again? I remember specifically an evening I went on for one of the actors in one of the tunes, Sarah, Sarah, Jim, that happens in a bar. And I remember feeling in the midst of this utter stillness pervade the whole theater. And when the tune was finished, there was an uncommon applause for that particular tune. And I associated it with that stillness. I try to find that stillness because that's where everything comes from.
It sounds like the idea of you wanting to be in quiet and stillness before your Claire audition. Sounds like I see what you're talking about. Has television changed in the time that you've been working in it, or that you've even been watching it, as you think, in its depiction of African Americans? And do you think your career has either reflected that or helped change that?
Well, yeah, it's changed. I would say it has. You look at shows like Grey's Anatomy. People are being people. That's why I love that show. People are being people. It's not about those familiar distinctions. It's about humanity. So yes, I think it has.
So for the better, you would say that?
I would say in that particular instance, I would say yes, it is. In the practice, we see the same thing. I'm trying to think of other shows. Well, now we're seeing Hispanic shows. Like, I love Ugly Betty, okay? It's just crazy, crazy television writing. I love it. I do. And I like Kane. I think it's very well produced. Yeah, I like it. Is it doing well? Do you know?
Middling. Kane is doing middling right now.
Middling?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But Ugly Betty will be one that for the... Yes, it'll, for all times, as people watch this interview, they'll know what you're talking about that kind of show and that kind of depiction of ethnicity.
Yeah, come on. It's time, honey. It's time. It's been time. It's past time. Come on, time. Come on, people. Come on.
Do you think that colorblind casting is something that's going to continue to happen? Or, I mean, had not the rest of the Huxtable family already been established to be black, Claire really could have been any color, really. I mean, even back then. But colorblind casting, is that something that's going to become more prevalent?
I hope that we'll get beyond all this foolishness and really start looking at ourselves as we really are. One human family. I mean, I don't know what it, I don't know. It's going to take meteors coming from out of the sky. What's it going to take? What, I mean, why does humanity have to wait for there to be just such a crisis to come to the simplest most logical conclusion. Why do we do that, I wonder? What is it about us? We can go all the way to the moon, take pictures of Jupiter, talk about what's happening on the surface of Mars, and we can't just be? What is that? I don't get it.
What advice would you give to someone starting out in acting and television today?
Keep your clothes on. Keep your clothes on.
Do you mean on or off the screen?
On and off. Keep your clothes on.
But is there practical advice that you'd have in terms of breaking in? Obviously, it always seems so difficult for people just starting out.
You know something? Everything is getting a little bit strange, isn't it? It's just all getting a little too strange. And maybe it's going to get stranger before it becomes regular again. But it's all a little strange. I wouldn't know what to tell somebody, except don't give up theater. Keep working in theater so you continue your development as an artist. And that's one of the things I'm most grateful for in my career. That with the work in television, and it has been significant, I do see when I look back on it, on a normal day I'm not thinking about it. But when I sit and talk, have this conversation with you, I see, okay, yeah, that was good work. That was a lot of work. I don't think like that, you know. But I'm most grateful with all of that to have been able to continue to this day in theater. I'm in rehearsals right now at Lincoln Center for Shakespeare's Cymbeline, playing the Queen. And that's, everything is a new beginning, a new challenge, you know. I love that. I can stay excited about that.
Right.
Yeah. So whatever you're doing, keep with the theater.
And while you're doing this theater and while you were always doing television, how did and do you balance your career and family life? Obviously for a woman, and you had a child just during the course of the Cosby Show. Mm-hmm. Never mind that you had also had other children. Mm-hmm. How did you do it?
You just do it. You just live. It's a job. It's not who you are. You know, my children don't relate to me that way. My son never comes to see me do anything.
So you're not, to him, you're not Phylicia the movie star or the TV star, your mom?
When he was young, in the earlier phases, he used to come all the time, and he would critique performances, and he'd be correct. And then, you know, as he got older, he just kind of moved away from that. You know, he never comes to see anything that I do. Well, that's not quite true. He did come to see A Raisin in the Sun, and he did come to see Gem of the Ocean, but you know, I'm his mother.
Now, Gem of the Ocean, I believe you directed as well?
Yes, I directed that at
the August Wilson. That was when he passed away. You directed it right shortly after that.
Yes.
So you've gone on to other work other than acting as well. Is that a new challenge?
Yeah, that's a real challenge because the director holds the vision and must galvanize all of the energies to come in alignment with the vision. That's the director's job.
Is that something you want to do more of? Are you going to be, first, are you going to change the balance of in front of and behind the camera in your career?
Oh, no. You know, it's all about opportunities, isn't it? So there you go. There you go.
Whatever presents itself.
Yeah, when the right things, people say, well, what's next? And I've never known what's next, child. Please. I've never known. Did I know the Cosby Show was coming? What's next? If you had asked me 3 weeks before, I couldn't have told you that. I mean, I never know what's next. I just have to stay ready for it, which means I have to keep up the voice classes. I got to stay in the gym. I got to go to some dance classes. You know, you got to read a lot and go see things and be current.
Well, I think that's a perfect ending. I think that's perfect advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Perfect.